should we name that one?
Shatner's toupee? What do you think, Sid? Let's see another one, Nikki.
Oh, heck, why not? Shurka Chandomal.
That was the coolest, but it needed more firepower. Yeah, really blast one.
Well, which one should I do?
This one.
But this is a 10th level spell.
We ain't got all day. Yeah, let's go, Toots. Make with the boom boom.
Kwa Yungo Zore Korech Bomb. Uh-oh.
What in the world? This is so boss.
I am Yongo.
That was fun. Horrible, but fun. Okay, Toots. Make with the get rid of the giant monster spell.
I don't know that one.
Check the book. Check the book.
To get rid of Yungo, seek a boon from the wishing engine.
A boon? What the heck's a boon? A wish, you idiot.
And look, here's a map. Let's go.
Alrighty, so
That was so good.
I
I was
know,
not
right?
expecting something that amazing.
It's the best. I fucking
Also,
love this cutscene.
I recognize the Jester's voice actor. I don't know from what, but I do.
But yeah, this is Pandemonium. It's my favorite 2.5D platformer on the PS1. It's the only 2.5D platformer on the PS1 that I've played, and I am playing it with some cheat codes because they make the game more bearable / more interesting. I am using a code for in and out, which lets me go out from the map, like to the map instead of ending the game. There is also a body swap code, which I'm using in order to swap between the characters on the fly using the triangle button, which otherwise you have to do this on the map, which I think is stupid, considering this game does it instantly without any sort of loading or anything. And also I have enabled a game share code that gives me unlimited continues, and I do that after this session, like recording session. But yeah, Pandemonium was a very early PlayStation 1 game, not exactly an obscure one, but it's a bit forgotten at this point. However, it's one of those games that pretty much everybody who owned a PlayStation actually owned. And for a good reason, because this game is excellent. It's a little bit unforgiving, and at some points it's a little bit, I would say, cheap with its difficulty, but it's overall a very enjoyable experience, and one that I had first enjoyed on the freaking N-Gauge. But yeah, it has a lot of visual detail, which is very pleasing, and a lot of interesting little things, like for example that background over there, which was actually the next level, or rather the next part of the stage that we are yet to see.
Neat when they like foreshadow what's coming up with actually putting it in the background, and you see it, and it kind of gets you curious. Oh, that's a cool looking place. And
Exactly.
Then you go and experience it.
And then you get to explore it. By the way,
Yeah,
I've
I've never heard of or played or seen played this game, so
that's good.
I'm interested.
Yeah, and here I changed the character because why not? Fergus is a little bit different from Nikki, in that he has a very uncontrollable attack which will likely get you killed. So you're not going to be seeing use that a lot. Nikki, on the other hand, which I don't know if that came through, has the ability to double jump, which automatically makes her the best character.
AKA Dixie Gong.
Yeah, it's a platformer. Ability to double jump is so OP. It would be
Well,
even better if yeah, go on.
I don't know. Maybe does his attack like do more damage or something?
No.
So what's his plus side then? Like,
being
why would
able
you
to
choose to play him?
being able to do an attack without having to jump on top of the enemy. That's it.
But
And
she shoots the thing anyway. So.
Yeah, but you have to find a special little thingy in order to be able to shoot magic, and you lose that the moment you get hit.
Oh.
And so he can attack without having to jump on top of the enemy, without that magic attack.
So theoretically, if you were in a stage where there was more difficultly positioned enemies, you choose the Jester, and if you were in one where there's more difficult positioning of platforms, then you would choose double jump.
Yes, and there I was actually testing out a certain cheat code, which I have also enabled, but I never, I only use it on the second stage because I was using the wrong combination of buttons. I was hoping it was gonna be something like, it's called Twist Eye, and it's supposed to move the camera around. So I was thinking, oh, they let me, move the camera around so I can see what's ahead of me or underneath me or something similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong.
I remember you telling me about that.
Wrong. It actually isn't. I thought that would be it, but as a matter of fact, it is just something that turns the camera clockwise or counterclockwise. Really useless.
Oh.
And by the way, in this game, in order to get a continue, you have to get 300 coins as opposed to 100.
How much are the red ones worth, or are those health?
The red ones are there are two incarnations of red ones. I think one is 5 and the other one is 10. But yeah,
Gotcha.
I don't really need to concern myself with that as much because later on I have to. I basically just enable a endless continuous code to not have to worry, because some of the later stages get annoying, and it's not even that this game doesn't let you continue. Well, it doesn't have a save system, but it has a password system. So it's not even
But
the
then
case
you'd have
of
to remember a password.
they're on the internet.
Right. I'm just saying, like, back in the day.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's kind of the case of I can save myself a lot of trouble, a lot of typing entire passwords on the PlayStation 1 pad if I
So are
just
you
have
going to learn
endless
more about
continuous.
90s chick and Four Loko mascot?
Well, I mean, that all of their character development just sort of happens in the first cutscene.
As far as I can tell, the Jester is possessed by a demon who speaks through his staff. Oh gosh.
This is what the code does, and I disable it the next session.
And she is motivated by her desire to go see NSYNC or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe
Backstreet
Boys.
I do like how they set everything up in that cutscene with her sort of misspelling one of the spells at the beginning to show off that she's not really all that well versed in it.
I don't know. It's just like where are we? Are we supposed to be in medieval times? I guess.
This is a fictional land of Liar. I am going to fix this camera, and there it is. There it is, yes. I never use that cheat code again. Trust me, it's horrible. Like, I was getting motion sick from it.
When we play Claw, when I play Claw and finally record it, it's functionally very, very similar, except for way harder. And I don't mean that in an elitist way. It's a very hard game. It just is very difficult. I literally have never beaten it.
Yeah. Like with this one, beating it isn't hard so long as you have those endless continues. And I have also beaten it without using the endless continues before. It just didn't want to waste time as much.
Yeah, with Claw, there was just a portion that, as a kid, I was also playing on a keyboard, which makes it a little harder, but as a kid, I just could not get past a section, because there's like a set of timed platforms that you have to hit on a row that is like 4 screens long, and I couldn't do it.
And there goes the first level.
Radical.
And
Wow, she's coming right for us.
And this is the only time you will see the bonus level, because in all other stages I just avoid collecting everything. There are actually 2 bonus games, and this is the one that's actually harder to get, because you need above 95% percentage on treasure collection. The other one is a lot more annoying. I like this one a lot more. And the result is, you know, getting a lot of coins as well as getting an extra continue.
I mean, it's as far as bonus stages go, it's better than anything Sonic has. Like,
Yeah. And boom. But yeah,
I mean,
the goal, the real goal here is to actually get to the very top, and in order to do that, you need to get to that thingamajig that we saw on the platform right above us.
oh, there's a goal. I thought that you were just trying to get as many coins as possible.
No. There is actually a point to all this, and you can kind of see it with the way the camera angle pans as you get upwards. By the way, with this game being 2.5D, they didn't really make it 2.5D, as in the presentation is in 3D, and like the angles are 3D, but there is never any sort of interaction with different backgrounds or anything like that.
You don't plane switch.
Yeah, no, there is nothing like that. It sometimes gets a little bit wacky with how they handle planes, or like going in a certain directions, and you get one shot at that before you have to reset the switch again. But in this game you just always go right or left, even though sometimes you can go spiral, you're still just pushing the same direction and you go in the direction you want. So they went a very tested and safe route, all things considered, and well, in my opinion, it kind of makes
What
it...
does the key do for you?
I think it unlocks, like...
Bonus
more,
art?
yeah, so this.
Oh!
And probably you can unlock something more, but... this is where it all ends.
For you.
And now we're at the hollow
So-
stairway.
Is this the sort of situation where you can play 2-player and one player can be one person and one player can be the jester, and like...
No, they didn't do that. I think it would get way too confusing, especially with how hard some of the later stages get.
I don't think that'd be confusing. Like,
No, but like,
Playing
you know,
games
the way they designed the camera in this game is that no matter what's going on, your character is dead smack in the center.
right? No, I meant like where one player plays, and then if they die, the other player plays.
Oh,
the
that's
other
what you mean. I don't think they have that. I mean, you can always just switch controllers with your friends. Not like you're gonna do that. I always fail that one. You can get an Ankh to get an extra life, and yeah, that is the reason why you never use Fargus, because his attack does not stop at the edge of the platform, and this is why you always use Nikki.
As it becomes more challenging, that's more likely to screw you over.
Exactly, and also some of the later stages almost seem like they're specifically designed to make use of the freaking double jump. And like if you don't have it, it's just like, how perfect do I have to be?
Mm.
This is...
So that key unlocks the drawbridge from earlier, or?
Yes, it unlocks the gigantic ass door in the middle of the thing that we couldn't enter before. and
Okay.
you can actually try to collect all of these coins. They do give you a little bit of time. As you can see, it's way behind us. And here,
So,
mhm,
what is the giant monster swallowed a castle town, and
yes,
it unleashed a bunch of minions, I guess.
no, it just swallow the town.
But then, what are all these little dudes that were jumping on and fighting?
They're just monsters. That's just how this land is. We
And this
don't
is
really
medieval time land, like with no modern technologies.
something-ish like that. I mean, the lore of Pandemonium has never really been explored. There are a total of 2 cutscenes in the entire game.
I guess that original cutscene was great, but I'm just like, I don't know what my objective really is, and how what I'm doing serves that objective.
You need to get to the wishing engine and get the boon.
Oh,
That's all
you
you
know
know.
what it probably is? It's probably in the manual.
It probably. I believe that is the only way to learn the actual name of the land. Or I know that they say the name of the land, which is Liar. They say the name of the land, which is something like Liar or something like that in the sequel. Not exactly sure whether or not they do that in this one, or well, no, I'm sure they don't do it in this one. They may do it in the manual. But yeah, also that attack, you may just run yourself into the enemy without attacking them, or rather. If your animation runs out, you don't get any invincibility frames or anything like that.
Right. So if your animation runs out like a frame too soon, you just take damage, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
pretty
Everyone
much.
likes doing that.
Which is quite likely when you're aiming for well, if the enemy is walking away from you when you're doing the thing. By the way, this is completely random as far as I can tell, and you can just collect extra coins to get, extra continues and what have you. And I'm not gonna do this for much longer, I just wanted to show it off.
You're always showing off, Nico.
I mean, it's at least good that they thought of something like this in one of the early stages, so you can get a lot of continues. Reasonably easy without having to go in and out of a stage, although I would still say that it's probably the easiest way to get a whole bunch of those is to just keep repeating the first stage, because that one doesn't have as many enemies and well, it's just easy.
Yeah, this is great and all, but Glover is better.
No.
Think about it. In Glover, you have like neat puzzles and like a ball that can change a whole bunch of different things that is good for different situations. Here, you're just like jumping around the whole time. Talk about lame.
And in Glover, you also can change your ball into something that will immediately shatter the moment you drop it.
Yeah, well, of course you wouldn't do that. I mean, like, what kind of maroon would change their ball into the crystal? I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, why would they even make that an option in the first place, right?
just to spite you, Nico.
Despite me and every 7-year-old child who bought that game.
Anyway.
Glover is terrible.
It's best. So it's your favorite 2.5D, and you said the only played.
Yeah, I haven't played
Yes.
Klonoa yet.
Wasn't Crash Bandicoot like in the same genre?
That one was more full 3D though.
Okay.
Like
see
I
it.
wouldn't necessarily classify that one as a 2.5 because there is a lot more a lot more moving along a 3D plane. You're not stuck on a rail, although you do mostly go forward.
Yeah, I mean,
And also, I haven't played
I haven't.
Crash, so...
Oh, okay. It's just that, you know, kind of visually reminds me, especially the run cycles. The characters are very
I mean, this is that era. It's like 1996.
For some reason, everyone was always hitching up their elbows a lot.
You know, gotta get that, just like the determination in the run cycle.
Yeah, you gotta show that they have a goal that they're trying to reach.
That goal that was explained in that really awesome cutscene at the very beginning.
Exactly.
And here
I
is
also
one
always
of
love
the...
how, like, these sorts of games just like, it's like, yeah, everything's just kind of floating.
This is one of the few instances where the plane switching is actually in place. However, it's mostly, again, just made easier visually because it's 3D. It was also entirely in 2D.
Background here looks like something out of Labyrinth.
And here is, like for this, you have to just keep holding right.
I'd get confused and have hit the wrong button a few times there.
And what I was doing over there was actually in order to, in order to get that, the key, which unlocks the way for, unlocked the way for the extra heart container, which I got while falling down. Very important, because those are actually the only thing that save over your playthroughs, even if you quit.